Good morning guys, my name is Kelvin White and welcome to Ultimate Tropicals. Now in this video we're going to be potting up some plants that were imported a few days ago into a perlite mix. They're going to stay there for 7 days, and the reason for doing this is to aid recovery to the roots after the rigorous cleansing procedure they go through before import. So if you managed to catch the last video I did, that covered off the arrival of the plants. There was 32 in total. We unwrapped them all, checked for yellowing leaves, rotting roots, of which fortunately there was very little. And then we placed them in a bowl of distilled water. It's also got a Super Thrive mix in there with them. And the whole idea is that, you know, they were in shipment for 10 days, so they needed a drink desperately. And so I kept them in there for, in actual fact, it was Thursday, late on Thursday, and it's now Sunday morning. So they're about 2.5 days. They've had a chance now to soak up the nutrients. Said the Super Thrive will just give them a little bit of a boost to help sort the roots out. And the idea is now we're going to pop them up into a pure perlite mix. Going to use these orchid pots, clear pots. Absolutely love these pots. First of all, they're clear to ensure that the beneficial light will get through to the roots. Secondly, you have absolutely outstanding drainage at the bottom, and they also have drainage and air vents around the sides of the pot as well. The other little feature I like about them is they've actually got a ridge on the bottom, so when they're sitting in the tray, you know, assuming that the tray is not full of water, then that's going to ensure that the roots are not you know, actually trailing in the water, and of course it's not going to wick up through either. Okay, so that's sort of what we're going to be using. Now, just to explain before I start this process, if you're not familiar with perlite is it comes from like a volcanic rock, and these things are heated to massive temperatures in a kiln, and then they sort of pop, and then what you get is this solution here. Is extremely light and extremely airy, and of course it absolutely drains like really quickly. So that's the whole point of this. Now, just one word of warning: if you haven't used perlite before, you absolutely really do need to rinse it off, give it a thorough rinse through. And what I suggest is that you do wear a face mask, because the dust off of this stuff is very fine, and it will, you know, it will give you a bit of a coughing fit if you don't use a mask. Now, the current situation with COVID as it is, you shouldn't have any problems getting your hands on a mask. So just while you rinse it, once it's rinsed, this has all been now thoroughly cleaned through, and of course it's no problem then. So it's only during that initial period when you gotta rinse it off. As I say, this has got like really good aeration properties, because the air can get in amongst it, and that will mean that your roots, although they will have a degree of moisture around them, they're certainly going to be absolutely free draining. The air will be able to get around your roots, the light will be able to get around your roots, and that's why I like to do that. I just like to do it after import. As I say, I think the first 7 days is absolutely crucial when new plants come in. Now, I'm talking about long haul plants that come in from like Indonesia or possibly even South America. And if they've been in transit for anywhere, you know, 4 days, 10 days, whatever it may be, they definitely need a period of recuperation. And they do go through quite an intensive root cleansing process before they're imported. So it's just a way to, you know, give them a chance to harden off a little bit, relax, get a bit of strength back into them, and just generally settle down. Now, after 7 days, those that have got strong roots are then going to be repotted into our potting mix, and those that don't have what we would deem to be strong enough roots, they will stay in the perlite for a little bit longer. Now, some of them will stay in there for maybe just another week, and some of them will actually stay in there for anything, a month or even longer. Just depends on the damage and how much the roots need to regrow before we can really place them into the soil. Now, you could place them straight into the soil mix, but of course perlite will drain much better, even though our soil mix is actually quite well draining. I just think for that 7 days it's such a good benefit. Now the other thing is, if you guys are, if you've just purchased plants and they've come in from the UK, so like typically on an overnight delivery, then of course you don't really need to do this. Now if they've come in their pot and they're potted up in a substrate, I would highly recommend that you do not repot for a period of at least 7 days. Just don't touch them, put them wherever it is you're going to put them, and just let them relax. Even from an overnight journey, that would be very beneficial. The last thing you want to do is start disturbing the roots on top of any shipment stress that they may have. But if you've imported the plants, or for some reason they've been delayed in transit, then I would really recommend that you perhaps go through this process and give them the chance to recuperate. If they've come bare root, then again you can go through this process if you wish, or you could put them straight into your potting mix. You know, there is quite a difference between an overnight service and one that's going to take sort of 5 to 10 days. So you know, you can be the judge of that. Okay, so without further ado, then we're going to crack on with this. Now I've got 32 plants here to pot. I'm not going to record the whole lot, but I'll do a few and just show you the gist of it, and then I'll come back when they're finished and show you how they're going to then, how they're going to settle in for the next 7 days. Okay, so we're going to put some perlite in the bottom. Now the first one up is a papilinium cross with a radical. I'm never sure if it's radical or radicali. You make your own mind up on that one. And you can see on here, there really isn't a great deal of root, just one popping out there. But that's fine. The trunk is just actually underneath the perlite. If this was going in soil now, I'd want that trunk to be sitting on the top. When I say trunk, I mean that chunk of wood. So I want that to be sitting on top of the soil, with the roots going down in. Now because this is just perlite, it doesn't really matter too much because they're only going to be in there for like 7 days, and of course it will just drain straight through and the air will still be able to get to them. So that's the first one in there then. So as I say, that's the papilinium cross with the radical, and now that will, you know, I'll keep it moist. I'll water it probably every 2 or 3 days. The water will just run straight through, so it will just stay nice and moist, and then we'll come back and check on them. You know, because these didn't actually have too many roots at all, these are probably going to be in here for a good month before they're ready to go anywhere near some potting mix. I'm going to label them. Now, of course, you don't need to do this really. This is just for my own reference. I just need to keep a track of every plant that comes in here for reference, so I know the date that they came in, how long we've had them, what the source was, where they've come from. So that's the only reason I'm doing this. Now at some stage in the future, if you were to become a customer of Ultimate Tropicals and you actually end up buying one of these, then this label actually stays with the plant now for its entire length of time it spends with us. So when we advertise them on the website, clearly they'll be marked with an identifier, and you can see in this case it's E1, so we know then which plant we're talking about. So if you choose to purchase one, you'll be able to see exactly which plant it is that you're purchasing by the reference number, and of course they'll all be on the website and you'll know which plant is which, because I know in the past there's always been an issue that you purchase a plant that you see an image of online, and of course that's not generally the plant that you get, and you can be a little bit disappointed if it's quite different. So in this case, it will be the exact plant that you see, hence the referencing number. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one on the tray and that will be ready to go. Okay, so as I said, I'm not going to do too many, but we'll try something a little bit smaller now. So what I've got here is some ace of spades, as you can see there. And these have got superb roots on them. And again, you could argue, do they actually need to go into a perlite mix for a week? But I just think it just gives them that extra little boost. And another week certainly won't do them any harm. It will give them a chance to strengthen off. And of course, then when they go into the soil mix, boom, they'll be away like really, really quickly. Okay, so same procedure then. Now we want to make sure we do actually cover all the roots. We don't really want the roots exposed. Okay, so there he is sitting in there. So that's the Anthurium Ace of Spades. Very, very healthy little plant. So once again, I'm going to put the marker on. Okay, and as I said before, there's its identifier, so we can track the actual exact plant. Okay, so I'll do one more because it is quite a repetitive procedure. Something a bit different. So here we've got Jose Bueno, variegated, and again, very, very healthy little plant. And it's got like a decent root system on it as well, and we're going to pop that one in exactly the same. I don't really pack them down too tight. I might give them a little shake just to settle the perlite, but the whole point is that they remain light and airy, so I don't really want them packed in there too tight. Okay, so we'll pop the label on. Okay, and there she is, Jose Bueno, and the variegated version, and there she is in her pot. And as I said, we'll be able to track that one all the way through. Okay guys, so I'm going to continue to work my way through. Say there is 32 plants, so it's going to take a little while, but it will be a repeat, rinse and repeat procedure. And then when I finish them, then I'll come back again and then show you them all placed up, and we'll place them in the greenhouse then, where they're going to be resting them for the next 7 days. So I'll just catch you in a bit. Hi guys, so welcome back, and it's taken about an hour or so, but finally got all the plants potted up and got them labelled already, and now they've just come inside the greenhouse, and now they'll start that acclimation process. As I said, they'll be in these perlite pots now for 7 days, and then we'll take a look at them, and all those with strong roots will then go into a soil mix, and then they'll be potted up to continue their 2-month acclimation process. We come across to the smaller ones. There they are, much the same. So fortunately on this batch, most of them actually had really good roots. It was just some of the big hybrids, the papilinium cross with the regale. They didn't really have much of a root structure, so they may take a little bit longer. So I'll come back again in future videos and we'll keep an eye on them. and we'll see how they progress. Now we can fully expect over the next 7 days, this is absolutely the crucial period. I know the plants may look fantastic now. What we'll probably find is that some of them will go into decline. We'll start getting a few yellow leaves. When we take them out of the perlite in 7 days time, some will undoubtedly have much stronger roots. There will be some root rot. They generally do shed a bit of root once they've been shipped. So that's the whole idea, that we can take a look at them, make a decision, and then do what we need to do going forward. You know, if you ever purchase a plant, be sure to know what the history of the plant is. You know, if it's an import, how long has it been in the UK? Because unfortunately some plants come in and they literally go out again within a couple of days, and you know, the problem with that is that we have no way of telling whether they're going to yellow up, whether the roots are going to deteriorate. And one example is just here is the regale, and I've already said regale really don't travel that well, and you can see it came in with just one leaf and it's already yellowing, and you know, within a matter of days that leaf is going to be gone. So we're going to end up with just a stump. Now that's fine and it will regenerate, but it will probably take a full 2 months to do that. So that's the word of caution, that if you're paying a lot of money for something like a regale, you certainly don't want it to go in decline like that. And that's why, you know, our philosophy is that we would always keep them here in the UK for 2 months and make sure they produce a UK leaf before we send them out on an overnight service. And at least that way you know you're getting a pristine plant. And that's the whole thinking behind it. Okay guys, so hopefully you found this useful, and as I say, I'll come back again in a few days and we'll have a look and see how they're all shaping up. And until then, thanks for listening, and hope to catch you again. Bye for now.